Hello Internet and welcome to this day in history for the 10th of October. Well, yesterday we talked about Charlemagne, the grandson of Karl Martel, Karl the Hammer, the savior of Europe at the Battle of Tours, where the Western Franks, in a rather spectacular tour de force by heavy infantry, defended and saved Western Europe from an invasion by the Muslim armies that had already conquered Spain. Why do I mention this? Well, because today we're talking about the Battle of Tours in 732, where Karl Martel, in a tour de force with his heavy infantry, defeated the Muslim armies that had already conquered Spain and saved Christian Europe, as you might already have guessed. This is probably not going to be a very long video, because I've already done a full video about the Battle of Tours, which will, of course, be linked down below. Go check that one out. But the Battle of Tours was interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, because it was the first sort of real setback that the Muslim armies had had against the Christian forces up until this point. The Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantines, were still at this point a force to be reckoned with, and they could sort of hold back the Muslims, but still the forces of Muhammad had already taken practically all of the Middle East, spread all across the North African coastline, and in fact crossed into and conquered all of Spain. And now they were taking the forces of the Umayyad Caliphate up and plundering southern France. In fact, they had already conquered basically all of southern France, and since there was nothing really standing between them and taking over the entire Western European area, in fact, they could probably have walked all the way up and start feuding with the Scandinavians, at which point they would probably have been held for some time, since the Scandinavians still controlled their massive fleet-based forces, but at least they could have basically created a future, or a present, if you will, our present, where Europe was Muslim, rather than at least Christian-based as we are today. And that was stopped in 732 when Charles Martel, for the first time in almost 300-400 years, and in fact for the last time in another 300-500 years, used really nothing but heavy infantry in the Roman-inspired Frankian way to defeat an army heavily dependent on cavalry, including, from time to time, heavy cavalry. It is a very interesting battle, and I think you should go watch the video I made about it, in fact read up on it, the Battle of Tours in 732. But yeah, short and sweet today. That was Today in History for the 10th of October. The Battle of Tours, where Charles Martel defeated the invading forces of the Umayyad Caliphate and saved Western Europe for the Christian cultural sphere. So, until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish you all a very happy day.